Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Chef's Meal, where we talk about whatever and never and everything else in between.
I ran out of Robitussin. Is that annoying? I think I drank it too much.
Out of Robert.
The other Robitussin. Sean, shut up. Don't judge me.
Okay.
I might have placed it in pancakes. I don't know. Rush hour in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Chef's Meal. My name is Casey.
I'm Sean, and we're just. Oh my God, we're just. Oh my goodness, we're two chefs. And just going on about our lives, one finished plate at a time.
No, Sean. We talk about whatever and never and everything else in between. Sean wasn't ready for that, guys.
I
Sean
wasn't.
Yeah.
Robitussin pancakes.
Check it out, man.
So, as you guys know, I was a little sick the other week. When I say sick, my body made itself sick because just jet lag and the whole thing and working a whole lot as soon as I got back. But they gave me doctor prescribed Robitussin. So it's amazing. This little, I don't know, it's like 80 ml bottle or some junk. I downed it because it was delicious. It was like half, it was like half simple syrup with a little hint of the Robitussin taste, and it's phenomenal. So I've been sipping it, a little dipping it, just a little, while at the house because it's so delicious.
You did not read the instructions on the bottle.
It's just so good. So Sean, if so serious talk. What are some of your favorite holiday meals? Let's stab on two. Favorite, since Thanksgiving's coming up, give me two favorite Thanksgiving meals and why.
Okay. All right. So this is, I won't say it's gonna surprise some people, but a recent holiday favorite for me is actually mac and cheese. Like when I was younger. Yeah, when I was younger I didn't eat it. I just didn't. I don't know if it was like the mouthfeel, but yeah. No, just did not. And man, I was missing out. Yeah,
Man.
That and definitely like Christmas ham. Again, you can
Christmas
have
ham
any time of year.
Okay.
But yeah, Thanksgiving, Christmas ham, top 10.
Wow. And here, check this out. So I'm looking on the wiki. Mac and cheese started out in the UK.
Makes sense.
Isn't that crazy? And it was typically done with a bechamel sauce to create a Mornay sauce. And then you just kind of put excuse me, you put everything on top of it. And then baked. That was the first form of it. It was baked, actually. And then here in the US, we made it into the whole quick serve, into the packet, on a pan, etc. But it's pretty cool, man.
I don't support that. I mean, look, I know there's a lot of families out there, consuming that easy Mac life.
Yeah, man.
No! God, please, no!
No bueno.
No! No!
At all.
I'm sorry. I mean, I know, again, like I've heard the stories. I see it on the store shelves. I see the commercials. I mean, even in our restaurant, we have like an Easy Mac type product that we have for the kids. But no.
You can't be the good stuff. Yeah, you gotta do it right.
You gotta do it right. I mean, there's levels to it, and yeah, man. Again.
Okay, so second question for you: crumbs or no crumbs?
Okay, so I mean, as a family tradition, I say we go no crumbs.
No crumbs.
But I'm partial to crumbs.
Okay,
I'm partial
me
to that extra.
I like a little crunch.
That extra, yeah, a little crunch,
Like a lot of crunch. A lot of crunch is necessary. I think when I'm eating, I like the whole consistency and textures, and that's what makes me a reminder of everything. Like when we went to, we were at this one. It was like 5 a.m, just like we were doing right now. We were in San Francisco at this coffee spot, and sun is just barely rising. We're kind of there, and they're open mad early because coffee spots or whatever. In a place in Little Italy. I forget what the name of it is. I'll find it somewhere. But they had the most banging croissant, bro. Like it was like nice and thin on the outside, crispy too, like on the outer
Okay.
shell, and like nice and chewy on the inside. I was like, wow, whoever baked this, phenomenal. And I think that's what it reminded me of, and it stuck into my brain more is because of the consistency and the texture. So the crispiness and the chewiness of the inside of that croissant was amazing. So it's just like, I don't know, crumbs or no crumbs. That's the battle. Let us know. And if you guys haven't already, so on the video format, Sean, I forgot to tell you, we have a new email address. Can you see this right now?
It's right
It's right
there.
Yeah, so I want to
Yes,
kind of
I see it, I see
separate.
it.
I want to separate the questions to the other email to the main one. So this is AskChefSalty. It's a little tongue twister at gmail.com. All your questions, all your concerns, all your feedback, any recipes, send it to us there, and you can find and let's chat because right now Thanksgiving's coming up and it's rapidly coming up really quick. It's only a month away. Once it gets hitting, it's gonna get hitting. So as soon as we kind of get into there, we're gonna be full steam ahead. So today's meal is presented to you by ShopRite, or any other
wow.
convenience stores are kind of close to you. What's another one? Stop and Shop, right?
You got
that's
Stop
about
and
it.
Shop. I mean, rest in peace to Pathmark. They're gone.
Oh yeah, no more. What was that other one? There was one that opened by me, Aldi. Have you heard of Aldi?
Aldi, yeah, man. Aldi used to be the throwback spot for cheap breakfast cereals.
And then there's one more by us. I forget. Well, there's also that CVS. That's popular CVS. You can't get into it. But there's one more like store that's as prevalent as ShopRite is. Not like the big, like not like BJ's or Costco, but like another one.
Yeah, Stop and Shop,
yeah.
Shop, right?
Yeah, when I figure it out, I'll shout it out in a little bit. It's like annoying. It's like right here down the block. I keep forgetting.
I'm sure you go in there all the time. You don't even think about it. You probably
I
have,
actually
like,
don't. I just look at it. I'm like, you're not ShopRite, so I'm mad at you.
Oh wow. Choosy chefs choose ShopRite.
My favorite ShopRite is the one by work over there in Rochelle Park because that's 24/7. That's the only 24/7.
Yeah, I definitely can say like on the way out of town, like I can hit that shop right up, and by the time I get back into my neighborhood, everything is already shut down. So
It's like it's 24/7. The people that are stocking at like overnight are pissed at you because you keep coming in.
oh, of course.
Like the
I
main
just
door
need to know
doesn't
where this
open.
kitty litter's at, man.
Yeah,
Can
like
just
you have to go
please
to
help me?
the exit entrance at midnight because they lock the front facing one. Like you have to manually open. It's kind of ghetto, but I love it. It's great.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness!
I
Now,
love that. Like
Sean,
yeah.
how was your? Can you share a little funny at work? I have like two funnies at work that happened. Can you think of one that happened?
Oh, do we mention names?
Well, let's we can give them a different name.
Okay, all right. We have one coworker who definitely was sleep deprived, and
That's
my
not
man
even the
was,
technical term for it. What was it? He was just out.
he was out of it, but I mean, I think like he was a little sick, not sick in a way that was gonna like,
Wow.
I don't know, impact his ability to cook, but I think the sleep deprivation was doing it. And my man was just
He was out. He was out.
yeah, he was yeah, oh my goodness, he was oof. Yeah.
What was do you remember the order that that I told him, what was it? I think it was a chicken, right? Or whatever.
Yes.
I told him twice what it was. I put the plate in front of him. I'm like, Holmes, you just got to put the chicken right here. He made a separate plate, a different like with size on top of it. Gave that to me, and then
remember
kind
the
of
one
gave me
that-
the go ahead with his head. I'm like, what are you
like, yeah.
like, dude?
The other
Like,
one
pay
was
attention, homie.
it was that what was it, like a haddock instead of a salmon?
Yeah, the haddock instead of a salmon, and he was all
My man
like,
put it up with confidence, like, yeah, I'm done. I'm just like, I'm all right. So we were short staffed, so instead of I usually I'm on Expo that evening, but I happen to be on Saute just to kind of relieve some pressure, and this ticket was two things. So when I put my plate up in the window, I'm looking across at his grill and I'm like, wait, I don't see
the
this
salmon?
haddock anywhere, but I see a salmon. I'm like, well, maybe he got a ticket that I didn't get. So I'm like, that's clearly possible, and maybe this haddock is in the oven warming. My man put it up with confidence. He was like, voila, and we're
like,
just
here.
like,
yeah, it was haddock. It was haddock dry. It was supposed to be salmon dry, right? And he was all done. I'm like, yo, where's the salmon? And he goes right here.
right here. We're just like,
I'm like,
no,
that's not even the
my
same
man.
fish, dude. Yeah, he was.
Bless his heart, man. He was humping, and we had just finished like the second of two really big parties. So, and he told me, he was like, yeah, man, I didn't get a lot of sleep. I wasn't feeling well, and by the time I rolled over and did go to sleep, it was like an hour before I had to get up to go to work. But I'm here. I'm ready to work, and I'm like, okay, all right.
He was dying. Though. There's nothing better than sleep deprivation. Did I show you that pic, Sean? Were you there when I burnt the fucking? It was two sleeves. It was two trays of ramekins. Were you there for that?
Oh yeah. That's when we were. All right. So for a time we were we wash all our ramekins in like the dishwasher, and one trick, so you have to turn them over so that if there's any like food caught in the bottom of them, they'll like drip out. And for a time, what we were doing is we would put them on metal trays and then stick them in the oven at the end of the night. The oven's off, but the residual heat is gonna like dry them really well. And for this particular night, instead of them being on the metal trays that are oven safe, they were the plastic trays.
Yeah.
So I will let you continue your story, Casey.
Yeah. It was not Dave, Sean. It was me. I put him in plastic trays because
I was trying to
it
be
was
nice.
the morning. It was the morning of Mother's Day. I needed the damn ramekins. I'm like, what? Why didn't we fucking put them out like to dry? So now they're all wet. Now I'm pissed off. And if you remember, we were short a dishwasher in the morning.
Yes.
So I was running around for it, and I was sleep deprived that week. So that's when it kind of gets you. And then one of our employees turned on the oven, as he should, because when you get into the line, you just kind of turn stuff on. You go, and I'm like, oh no! I pass by, I hear the oven go. I'm like, oh my god, is this for real right now? And I'm like, hey, did you turn on the oven? He's like, yeah. And I opened it for him. He's like, well, maybe I should have told you there was stuff inside. And yeah. Well, if you so real quick, if you head on to our Patreon page, that is actually on there. I think it's on one of these. I forget which one it was. Right here, this one. This one right here. So you can't really see it unless you are a Patreon. But like I mentioned to Sean, we're doing a different format. So this is a video format that we're doing right now, as you're hearing it. It will be live on our Patreon page after we talk, but everywhere else streaming. Otherwise, you would hear the podcast nonetheless. But yeah, so that's what happened to that tray of to those ramekins. And good thing we didn't have to throw them out though. Like I still cleaned it. It was okay. But the trays.
Yeah, I just remember you like picking, like waiting for the grills, like the grill slats that hold the racks to cool down, and like we use like pliers to peel the plastic. I was like, what happened, man?
Hey man, this is real life. Okay, this is not all fan and glory the way they have it on TV. We have it all messed up on real life stuff. But Sean, are you ready for Sean's Tech Tuesday?
Sean's Tech Tuesday. Sean's Tech Tuesday.
Okay. So I think a few episodes back I asked you what was the oldest piece of technology that you're still using today. And I don't remember what you answered, but I did ask a few of our coworkers the same question.
Okay.
And most of them were talking about, like, I don't say less. I would say more primitive technology, but like stuff like watches. You know, one of our coworkers
like older tech.
Yeah, like one of them brought up a VCR. Excuse me.
Salud.
And he was saying that, like, you know, despite the fact that there's like streaming and DVDs and Blu-rays, he keeps that VCR because there's like some tapes that, you know, like director's cuts that just haven't been re-released. You know, some home recorded stuff that's like sentimental.
Are we talking like VHS, beta?
Yeah, VHS and stuff. But the reason why I bring that up is because, you know, I think we as a culture get used to just taking technology, and as soon as it gets like replaced by something better, you just throw it out. You know, you just move on to the next thing. And I think there's a lot of different ways that like you can repurpose tech to, you know, give it a new life, despite the fact that maybe like something newer or better is like come along. Because I mean, I definitely remember in like the 90s and 2000s, I mean, there was a lot of companies that were like producing technology that was designed to just be discarded and was really wasteful. Like everyone had like a home printer, and it would come with like 2 ink cartridges, like the color cartridge and the black cartridge. And then the ink would run out, and then the ink, you'd go to the store to buy the ink, and the ink was more expensive than buying another printer.
Oh, yeah.
So you just bought another printer, and it just, the cycle just continues. And
I mean, the ink now is still ridiculous.
it's still expensive, but I mean, I don't think
But you
it's
don't throw out the
as
printers.
crazy. Yeah. It's not as crazy as it was. And like, you know, some companies, they have like recycling programs for like the ink cartridges and stuff, so that like you can bag them off, send them back, maybe get like a little rebate. And that's definitely a good way to kind of promote, like, you know, keeping that technology like relevant, despite the fact that newer stuff has come out. But
Got you.
well,
Sean, you see this?
I do. I
You
see
see
the
this?
Game.
I forgot
Game Boy
about
printer.
this. Oh my
Hey,
God.
man! You know, you're gonna use your Pokemon Snap and have stamp size pictures of Pikachu.
I forgot.
Wow,
I used to
not
bug my
thought
mom
about
for
the-
this. I was like,
the
Mom,
Game
I
Boy
really need
printer.
that Game Boy printer. Like,
That
yo,
paper
that was such a throwback.
super
Wow.
expensive for that.
Wow.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
I see like a dot matrix printer or something like
You
that.
got a dot matrix printer,
But yeah,
This is what I
so-
remembered it as. This one. Like,
Yeah,
as
it
a
had the little
printer.
holes on the side.
The holes
and
on the
to
side, you
feed
kinda
the
put it
paper,
through.
and yeah, the like
Wow.
the ribbon, and you said, very similar to like the printers that we use on the line actually right now for
It's
for our
exactly like it.
tickets.
It's also made by
Yeah.
Epson. It's the same exact thing. We
Wow.
just have the smaller version of it, the Epson printer at the line.
Yeah,
and that's what
it's
our,
reliable. It's
reliable.
reliable, and you know, like they don't break, and that's the
Mm.
thing too. It's just like, you know, had we had something like laser printers on the line, I mean, you know, with all the heat and stuff, it probably would not be very resilient. But those printers are rock solid. You know,
rock solid. Japanese company, invented in 1968. The Epson printer. Yeah, that was pretty, wow. I'm learning shit.
So-
This is great.
So I have some examples of things that you could do with some older technology that you probably have. So if you have like an old cell phone, especially one that has like a SIM card, you can I would say you could use it for travel. Like if you don't want to, like, if you feel that like it might not be safe to carry your latest and greatest with you.
Are we
One is,
talking like Nokia? Like the
yeah,
old bricks?
but I'm saying like, yeah, it could be a Nokia, or even like at this point, like an older like Android phone.
Oh, got you.
Yeah,
Like the Razor?
maybe like a Razor, or all those Android versions are based on like foods, Kit Kat and Jelly Bean and all that stuff. But but yeah, if you have like an older phone, you could get a replacement battery, a new SIM card, and use that to travel with. I mean, you're already familiar with it. You probably have it in a drawer. Just take it with you instead of something that might stand out as more expensive.
I got you.
You could keep it offline, at least as far as like your regular data plan, and use it as like a music streamer on Wi-Fi, or maybe if you have other newer technology, you can use that old phone as like a digital remote control. Like I have a receiver here that has like app-based remote functions, and it'd be like a perfect use for something like that. You could use it as like especially if it's a bit older and you are actually storing music on it, just use it as like a digital jukebox, because it's already got the music that you used to like. And it might be a way to like revisit that. And that was something that one of our coworkers was talking about too, and keeps like old iPods, and because like they had like specific mixes, and you could try to recreate it on like Spotify, but now you gotta hope that they have the rights to those artists, and you already know.
Got it.
Old video game consoles you can use for like Netflix streaming and such, music streaming. I actually have a pass here. So I have a router here, and it's not old. I actually bought this about 2 years ago. It's an AC router, but when we moved, our cable box has like everything built in. But what I find is that like it's a cable box, it's the DVR, it's the router as well, but the signal's not that great. So I'm gonna take that router, the one I just showed you guys, and I'm gonna make a range extender so that like it can repeat the Wi-Fi signal and get to parts of the apartment that aren't covered as well.
Got it. Repurposing.
Like repurpose it. It's still good. It's still good to me. You're familiar with it, and maybe even in the process, you might be able to teach yourself something about the technology that you wouldn't have otherwise. So now I'm going to have to update the firmware, or maybe put on some like third-party firmware that'll give that router some functions. Can attach a USB drive or a USB hard drive to it, and make like network attached storage. If you have old flat panel TVs, or like an old computer monitor that has HDMI, again, you could invest in a Roku stick, or like a Chromecast, or a Fire Stick, and now you have like a smart TV in a place that you might not have been thinking about it. Like, so again, I have a computer monitor. I was thinking about either putting one in my kitchen or in my daughter's room. Just simple way, pop on some YouTube videos, some light entertainment. And again, got an old phone. It's a Roku remote right there.
Got it.
I
haven't actually kept any of my old phones at all. Like I traded
seriously?
on.
Okay.
Yeah, I wish I kept at least the one. My favorite phone of all time, though, iPhone 4. The original black 4 iPhone, and that was, man, I think I had that like 5 years. 5 years into it,
and that
it
would
was
be
amazing.
exactly perfect for what I'm talking about, because like maybe like the App Store has kind of passed it by, but it's still going to be good. And if you're not using it hardcore, then like the battery will probably last, and you could stream some music. It has Bluetooth.
You can do everything with it. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it would be a fine camera. It was a good camera for you before, right?
Yeah,
Like it would
still was.
still be a good camera. And yes, it doesn't have 3 lenses like the iPhone 11 Pro, and it doesn't face scan, when you look up at it to unlock the thing, but it's
But it was still a
probably
badass phone.
And then again, if you don't want to keep these things, I mean, you could always sell them on eBay or offer up or trade them in or give them away or donate them to, Goodwill or Salvation Army. I mean, those are still obviously good ways to kind of repurpose and give them a new life, maybe for someone else. And if you're selling them or trading them in, kind of recoup some of the value that might still be left in it. But I think that's my Tech Tuesday tip. Look at the hardware you have before you just immediately discard it and throw away, and see if you might be able to repurpose it.
Or, I keep old hard drives. That's my thing. So like I never will let go of hard drive because it's, first of all, it's storage. If you just think about it, I think I have a 512 in a closet down that way. I have a 2 terabyte that I'm using, and then I have a 3 terabyte that's on my PC right now. But the other 2 I just use them just in case if I need a backup or something. They're always stored over there. So that I exactly know. And those are older models too. Like not even as quick to render or the read and write speeds to it, but it's still storage. You can't beat it.
Sure, and storage that you have right on you. I mean, again, like even as interfaces change, especially with like hard drives, you go from IDE to SATA, different SATA speeds. You got new SSDs. You can go to a place like Amazon or Micro Center and get enclosures that will make them compatible with whatever new interfaces of the day.
Yeah, no, definitely with you. All right, so as we're switching out, again, like I said, we have a new email, if you guys haven't already, AskChefSalty@gmail.com. Put all your questions and your concerns and all the good stuff over there. I am switching it up. The other email is still live, if you still prefer that one. That's porkandwinecompany@gmail.com. This one's just a little easier, I think, to kind of get through. And then finally, Sean, I forgot to finally mention, we opened a new YouTube channel specifically for our podcast. Yeah, so right there, Chef Salty Pork Podcast on youtube.com. You can find all our actual episodes. But like I said, Patreon comes first, so it will be live on Patreon. If you haven't already, go to patreon.com/porkandwine. We'll give you all the good tidbits there. But if you haven't, if you want to wait a few days, it will be on the Chef Salty Pork Podcast on YouTube and all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's intense. Like I said, we are getting ready for the holiday seasons. As chefs, this is our busiest time of day, at least for the corporate that we work for and for the processes that happen. Because one, it's like back to back every weekend. We gotta people there, they're either celebrating early or they're off. Lots of kids, lots of other new faces because a lot of people come visit. And then once holidays come in, boom, full swing. So as soon as, at least for us, Thanksgiving is like the first day. We're off in our restaurant.
We are off for Thanksgiving because the mall complex that our restaurant is attached to, I believe is closed for Thanksgiving.
They are closed. Only Macy's and Nordstrom is open.
So they do Black Friday stuff.
They do, yeah. It's like it continues all the way out till Thanksgiving for them. But all the other avenues are closed. There's a couple of restaurants that are open. But for us, we are technically closed, but we still got. I mean, I still have to go in there because I got to do a couple orders. But it's not too crazy, but it's a good thing. It gives me a little bit of rest. It gives everybody a little bit of rest.
Yeah, much needed.
Right before the busy, Now, Sean, couple final thoughts in closing. We call this 20 minutes because we are instilling something new, something different. I know we spoke about a lot, and I have something to share to you in a little bit after you share your 20 minutes. But how about you go first and give me an ending.
Sure. So my 20 minutes isn't actually 20 minutes, but it's still important nonetheless. So I think you did bring up like the holidays. It's a great time for people to get together, your families get together, spend some time together. But I think if you have your 20 minutes, you should focus on some, reconnecting and checking up on your people.
Hey,
I think it's very easy to get caught up in, the digital appearance, or, your what's the best way to say it? I don't say like your fake life, but
your social media.
Yeah, your social media, like your curated life. That's what I want to say.
Got it.
And it might be easy to feel like you have an understanding of what's going on in people's lives because of like what they're posting or what you're seeing of what they're posting. But call and check on your people. I feel like we have so many different ways to do it. Skype, you can text, but call and check on your people. Show up if you can. Make some time, spend some time. Build and maintain those relationships. And it might not be 20 minutes every day.
Yeah,
but find that time. You got it. You got the time. Reach out to those people, and you know who those people are.
Everyone has time, man.
Got to.
Yeah. That's a little deep, Sean. I was going for a funny, but
yeah, nah, man. I'm sorry. I'll bless you with a funny one next time.
Okay.
No, but just again, and this is not for any particular reason or other. It's just reach out to your people, man. Like they're there, and you can't know what's going on with everyone unless you actually talk to them.
Yeah.
Talk to them.
Or physically take the time to. It's in passing. You always do the "Hey, how you doing?" kind of thing.
Right. But sometimes you just be like, no, but really, how are you doing?
Gotcha. Well, my tip was like, just make sure to say hi to your mom, after you hit a bear, and make sure you're okay. I haven't done that yet.
Oh, see, use your 20 minutes, Casey.
Yeah.
You might actually need to use that 20 minutes.
I'm gonna stop by her house tomorrow and just say hi, but I haven't already. Cause like the funny was, so we hit a bear. The first, I want to say a couple of weeks ago, the other podcast was I shared how we kind of ran into some nature when I was up in when Kayla and I were up in Northern California going into Oregon. We kind of made a little headway into a bear, and my mother, who is kind of following us on social media, she was like, "Hey, what happened?" I'm like, "Oh, we just kind of hit a bear. We're cool. We're fine." Yeah. So I haven't been back in like 2 weeks. So I'm gonna go pay a visit to my mom and make sure she's okay, and probably make some bread or something. Give her some bread, but yeah, we'll see. I gotta wake up the yeast. My son, his name is Francisco. So make sure everybody's okay. So everyone's aware real quick. So Chef Salty Pork everywhere on podcasts. You can listen to anywhere on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, whatever. Make sure you leave, like, and subscribe. Give us on the way up. We are ranked 1,417 as of right now. Okay, we are climbing up the ranks, people. We're getting there. You help us get to number one. Leave a like. Give us some, suggestions. Get on to there. And also, if you haven't already, on patreon.com/porkandwine, gives you all the extra tidbits. And it's pretty simple. It just gives you all the extra ones before we post it everywhere else. And it gives you some nice little taste into the extra bits, especially with the video format that Sean and I are kind of trying out. But yeah, other than that though, ain't too crazy. Chef Meals airs every Tuesday with Sean and myself, and Thursdays where everywhere else. And new format in a little bit. Sean and I will actually be just doing Tuesday primarily with the techie stuff and all the other good bits that we do. And then on Thursdays, finally, where Sean and I will talk about specifically food in the restaurant and everywhere else. So keep in track. We're doing 2 episodes every week. The first with us, and then the second about food. So let us know. Get into the little interwebs. Give us little suggestions. Let's talk about meals that you want to, or some dishes that you haven't already gone into or would like us to break us down. Like, how does this taste? How would this pair with whatever? We are here for you guys. But other than that, Sean,
Yes.
you wanna give him a hello, a bye, a high five, whatever else you
Sure.
wanna do.
So, like Casey mentioned again, new email, AskChefSalty@gmail. Definitely send us some feedback. We're looking to see if you like a little bit of crunch in your mac and cheese. So
Hey,
let us know there. But aside from that, be good and peace out, internet.
Word. Do you know why it's Ask Chef Salty? Real quick before we go,
Tell the people.
because we're salty motherfuckers.
My goodness.
Oh, my God. If you haven't already, Sean's tag is right there. You can find him on Twitter at
Oh, my
Petrocard
goodness.
X. Again, at youtube.com. Chef Salty Pork Podcast. You'll see the podcast there. Pork and Wine, also the other one where I do videos and stuff. And Ask Chef Salty, because we're salty motherfuckers.
There you go. Oh my goodness.
I am so awake. I don't know why. I am so awake. It's not even funny.